MSA Sports Center stage getting you ready for Championship Friday at Heinz Field. One of the guys on the call, Johnny Lee, he will, along with Rob Matsey, have the call of the AAA championship game, West Allegheny Central Valley. It's a rematch of last year's title game. It's a rematch of Week 9 when these two teams met. They should be familiar. They should know what's coming on, right?
I think they're definitely familiar. I mean, it's turned into a really good rivalry, let alone having it occur a lot at Heinz Field. What was it, 4 weeks ago? Central Valley, at Central Valley, knocked off West Allegheny 28-17. West Allegheny got off to a big lead. They got off to a 14-0 start, and Central Valley was able to come back and really limit West Allegheny. But all of a sudden, it's Wildcat again. All of a sudden, it's Wildcat again. Everybody's Central Catholic. Yeah. Everybody's going Wildcat again.
Everyone's falling for the Wildcat.
And one of the things that after reading about the Wildcat the last 3 weeks of West Allegheny, we didn't really see a lot of Terrence Stevens. We saw a lot of Chase Dillon and you know, the typical I formation pro sets from West Allegheny. We didn't see a lot of Terrence Stevens, and that's the key. Bobby Pelko uses 2, 3, 4 backs to run that Wildcat, so it'll be a different look. But I'm sure Mark Lyons has seen it enough that he'll be able to deal with that a little bit.
So in most cases, you have a game Week 9 and a rematch in Week 13. Maybe not a whole lot of changes, but this does add another dynamic.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, the quarterback from West Allegheny is a good, solid quarterback, Zach Kessler, but it just wasn't happening for them. And I think, you know, sometimes it's safe to say, I know basketball-wise a lot, Don, when I was coaching basketball, I'd come up with all this different stuff. You know, I'm going to revolutionize the game. And you go back sometimes to what you're comfortable with, and obviously over the past 5 years I've had a lot of success, probably even longer than that. I think Bob started it with Dorn Dickerson, so that's how long ago it was, and it's catching on in the WPIAL. A great move by, not to take anything away from West Allegheny and Central Valley, but great move by Terry Totten going to it. Put the ball in the best player. You know, sometimes coaches complicate things too much. I mean, we talk about that all the time, but put the ball in your best player's hands. That's exactly what Central Catholic did with Patrician, putting the ball in his hands. We have like 60 yards rushing for the year and 211 in the semifinals. So that's what West Allegheny does. And man, did they do it against TJ.
So if Central Valley comes out with Jordan Whitehead in the Wildcat, then we know.
But see, Central Valley doesn't really have to do that, right, because John George at quarterback kind of gives them a wild card look to begin with. They run some read option with John George, but the best thing about Central Valley and the most fun thing about watching Central Valley, other than Jordan Whitehead, is West Allegheny has to really be prepared to kind of keep John George in the pocket. Because I really believe in Western Pennsylvania, there's guys that have put up great numbers this year at quarterback. Danucci, you know, some big numbers, some numbers that you just don't see. But John George he makes plays out of nothing, and that's what hurt West Allegheny last time, and that's what the Indians are going to have to prepare for. I always go back to it, and I think it's a great line from Mark Lyons last year. When I was talking to him on the field, he said, Johnny, he said, you'd love to have this kid play for you. He just makes plays. And he does. You're not going to see him playing at Pitt. You're not going to see him playing at Ohio State quarterback. But in a high school level, he just makes plays. And naturally, Jordan Whitehead he's a one play drive wonder. Yep. And West Allegheny can't afford to give up those one-play drives.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome, Don.
All right, part of our full-day coverage from Heinz Field Championship Friday will include the finale, Central Valley against West Allegheny in the AAA title game, 8 o'clock here on the MSA Sports Network.
On the network.